Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and you may know or not know, I love the Ulta Beauty brand. I love their products. I love seeing when they come out with new stuff. I want to try it. But today, we're going to be talking about this new palette from Ulta Beauty. It's the Desert Skies eyeshadow palette. I have purchased each of these palettes that they've come out with over the last couple of years. Sadly, they discontinued two of the best ones. They had one called Sunset Skies. That was the first one I tried and I fell in love with it. They also had one called Midnight Vibes that had some really beautiful jewel tones but were kind of smoky. Oh, it was so good. They discontinued those, but every now and then I still find them in store. They don't have them on their website, but sometimes I guess they just find stock sometimes and just put it out. So every now and then I do see those kind of just sitting there for sale. But now they only have three available. They have the one called Everyday Faves. I did do a review on that and demo. I'll link it down in the description box in case you want to check it out. It's great. They also have one called Blossom something. I did not like that one at all. And I was very hesitant to buy this one because of this kind of color scheme that they got going on in here. I mean, there are palettes, countless palettes that have this exact kind of warm color scheme to it. So I didn't want to get it right away because I was like, I already know it's going to be really good, but I don't really need those colors in my life. But one day just walking around in the store, I saw it and I was like, fine, I'll buy it. And it's wonderful. The colors in here are a dime a dozen. Like, you probably have palettes in your collection that are very similar to this. So the color scheme in here, it's nothing to write home about, you know. If you have enough makeup and you call it a collection, you probably have palettes that look just like this and, you know, formulas you already really like. But if you were to buy this because you just had to have it, you are not going to be disappointed with it. The quality is wonderful. It's really, really good. The colors you see are the colors you are going to get. You see this yellow here, you're gonna get that yellow on your lids. This nice pinky kind of color up here, it's gonna look just like that. The browns are that exact color. You don't have to build these up to get that color. But that being said, they're not so pigmented that they're difficult to use. They're really user-friendly. They're really, really easy to blend, with the exception of these two dark shades on the outside. I don't know why. I cannot get those to really blend. I do have to mix them in with another color. So if I get this one here and kind of dip it in with that one, it'll blend fantastic. But if I try just to get that on the brush by itself, I just find that it doesn't move. It'll just kind of stick right where I put it and then that's where it's at. And it's very frustrating. But I find that when I dip it in with any other color, it really helps that color kind of blend a little better. So I found a workaround, you know, it's still fine. I don't really have an issue with it anymore. It still comes out just as dark even when I mix it with another color. So you do get 5 mattes in here. This one here is a matte shade, but it has a little bit of gold glitter in it. Just a little tiny bit. It's not one that I would say is even like a glittery shadow. It's just a little bit mixed in with it. And then you get 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmers in here, which are this one, this one, this one, and this one. I do think the shimmers, I wish they had put something else in here. Like, I think a gold, like a true gold would have been really nice, because I think a couple of them, they look very, very similar on the eyes. Although you get 4 options, they're all kind of in the same tone. Like, these two here look so similar once you get them on the eyes. So the palette doesn't have a lot of overlap in it, which is great, but those couple of shimmers, you know, they do look very similar. So I wish they had replaced one with like a true gold shade or like something yellow or, you know, just something a little bit different. So this palette does retail for $20 if you were to buy it not on sale. 20 bucks I think is a very fair price for this palette, especially for the quality. The quality is top notch in this palette. These mattes are buttery and smooth. They feel like you just want to rub them between your fingers. They're actually surprisingly good. And I wouldn't expect that out of a palette from a store brand, I guess, which is kind of mean. But I don't know, you know, sometimes store brands kind of put out some cheap stuff just so they could put their name on it. But they actually put some thought and high quality powders in this palette. They definitely knocked it out of the park with the quality. Although the color scheme, you know, a lot of palettes do this kind of warm colors. But if you wanted to get this because of the colors and they're really drawn to it, you're not going to be disappointed. It's wonderful. It's very easy to use. It's blendable. The mattes and the shimmers work really, really well together. Let me swatch this palette out really quick. And when I say they work well together, I mean like the mattes that you have on your eyes are going to allow the shimmers to stick onto them. It is one of the biggest like annoyances in makeup when the shimmers that are in the palette don't work well with the mattes and you have to do like a separate primer to get them to stick on, and it's, you know, that's very, very annoying. This one, thankfully, doesn't have that issue. So here's the palette swatched out. I know they don't look remarkable. I'm not the best with swatching. I just wanted to kind of give you a different look at the colors. They are really, really pretty, and like I said, what you see is what you get. You don't need to build these up a ton to get the color to show up. These are kind of one swipe little swatches here. And now that I look at that one that I said I think I saw glitter in, you can kind of see it. Maybe if the light catches it in a certain way, you'll be able to see that glitter. But in my opinion, that one is just matte. I mean, I didn't even notice that shimmer was in it until I hit the light like this. So I wouldn't be too worried about that, like as if you're gonna see a ton of sparkle in your eye or anything. So I don't really have anything else to say about the palette. I think it's wonderful. I think $20, the price is right with this palette. The quality is fantastic. If you already wanted it, you're not gonna be disappointed. It's easy to use. It's a really cohesive looking palette as well. All of the colors work well together. There's nothing in here that's kind of just taking up space. I've used every single color and they all work really well. Like I said, those need a little bit of help blending, but that's just been my experience. So I do have a demo with this. Let's cut to the demo real quick and then we will wrap this up. Okay, so I already have on eye primer and I think I'm gonna go in with this one. Let me swatch the three that I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do this one, and then maybe that shimmer there on the bottom. This is a palette that is just fun to swatch. You know those palettes you get that just have such a nice, rich formula? You just want to like rub them between your fingers. That's this one. The mattes are just so rich and the shimmer is just so smooth and creamy. So those are the colors here. This one has a little bit of a rosiness to it that at first I thought was kind of funny in the palette, but I kind of like it. It kind of balances out the warmness a little bit something different, if that makes any sense. I do have on the Morphe eye primer, and I don't really find any fallout with these mattes, but I do get fallout with the shimmers. It kind of just depends on how I decide to use it. Sometimes I get a little too much on my finger when I'm patting it on, a little falls down here. And I'm just, you know, just to make it easier to wipe away, I like to start eyes first with this palette. And as you can see, that color has a lot of pigmentation. It builds up easily, it blends easy. And that's one thing I really love about these palettes is that the colors you see are the colors you're going to get. You want that yellow, it's gonna look like that. You want this nice pinky one, it's going to look like that. You don't have to build them up forever to get them to show up, and I really like that. This color is just really pretty to wear on its own as well, just all over the lid and the crease, lower lash line, some black mascara, and you're done. And I really enjoy this color. So I'm just gonna go in with that middle dark shade right there on the outer corner. I might get a little bit, I'm gonna dip into this and then a little into that top one there. I need a little bit of darkness, or I want a little bit of darkness. And I don't think those really dark ones blend that well. At least I have not been able to get them to blend for me. But mixing them with another color, it really helps them kind of blend out better. It's the thing with having hooded eyes or a lot of like eyelid skin. You have to kind of do this a lot to see where you're putting the stuff and then kind of relax your face. And see if you can even see the outer corner darkness that I put on, because most of it's like hidden away in there, you know? What a hard life. I'm just joking, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna get that shimmer on the bottom. That is so pretty. I'm gonna get a little bit of the excess off because I did pick up a little too much. I'm just gonna put that on the eyelid. And these shimmers stick so well with the mattes. It drives me nuts when I have an eyeshadow palette that doesn't work well within itself, you know what I mean? So the shimmers don't stick on the lid when you have another shadow there, and these ones work really well with the mattes, and I really like that. There you go, easy peasy. I think I'm gonna get just a little bit more darkness. I just want a little bit more on the outer corner. So I'm just gonna take a little more of that dark shade in the palette And just, I mean, I'm barely touching the brush to my eye because I just want a little bit. And I don't really want to blend away the shimmer, you know? And I'm going to get a little bit more of that pinky shade we started with at first and just add a little bit more to the top part of the eye. Because I want it to look kind of big, you know? Okay, now that it looks sufficiently crazy, I'm gonna wipe away this fallout. As you can see, I did get some here and out here. It kind of just depends on if you're tapping off the excess with your brush, if you're starting slow. If I'm doing eyes first, I don't really make it a point to kind of tap off every little excess because I'm gonna wipe it away anyway. So I'm gonna wipe this off, clean it up, and then finish up the lower lashes, and we will wrap up this review. All right, and this is the finished look. Of course, I got everything else on. I did go in with the yellow on the lower lash line as well as like right here in the inner corner, and like I kind of just got this brush and kind of pushed to the yellow right there. And I think it adds like a nice little, I don't know, something different. I really like this palette. I love the performance. I think it's wonderful. And I did put on the Melt Cosmetics Supernatural Lash Mascara. I think this palette really benefits from a little bit of like black lashes. And yeah, that is that. So that is my take on this palette. I think it's wonderful. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this palette. I would love to know. Also, let me know some Ulta Beauty products you love. I love the brand. I want to try everything eventually. But that is it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.